Hi guys, welcome back. Quick apology for the state of my voice. I have this really irritating cough and it has just completely destroyed my throat and my voice and I sound like a man. Alas, I have a foundation first impressions for you today on the Gosh Foundation Plus Cover and Conceal foundation. I've done two other foundation first impressions on Gosh foundations. I've done the hashtag foundation drops and the exceptional wear foundation, so I'll try and leave them linked down below for you. And I really liked both of those for different reasons. They had their pros and cons, so I thought, you know what, I'll try another foundation of theirs, and I'm pretty sure this is new. I've only seen it in there in the last probably month or so, and if you didn't know, Gosh is a cruelty-free brand, so that's awesome. So I've got the shade number 2. It doesn't have a colour name or anything like that. All it says on here is Cover and Conceal Seaweed Fondant, SPF 15. It's a 30ml bottle. It doesn't have any claims on it. It has nothing on it aside from the ingredients. So I'm just going to slap this on my face because I figure, as we can see, I have what was a spot there and what wasn't a spot there that my boyfriend so kindly popped for me. So let's just do this. I normally on first impressions of foundations use Beauty Blender, but it does absorb most of the product, so I am going to be using the Real Techniques buffing brush, although this one's not flat. This was my second set of theirs, and the set I got all were, I don't know what was wrong with them, but they didn't look right, and I got them from Boots, so no idea what's going on with that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to use, and then if it does give any streaks, I'll just go over it with the Beauty Blender. I don't actually have a mirror. That was clever. Bear with me. Okay, so let's just pop my hair out of the way and just on my hands to see what it's like. Okay, it's a lot thicker than the other two. Quite orange. That was awkward placement, well done. I don't know if you can really see that. It is slightly darker than it's showing on camera, or you can kind of see. My battery's dying now, so I'm just going to change that. So let's attempt that again. I'm just going to zoom you in, just so you can see my horrific face. I do apologise if I get the mirror in the way, by the way, because it's quite large. But my eyesight's terrible, so I need a big mirror. So I am going to pop this onto my clean fingers and just kind of, oh, it is very thick. I'm hoping, because of what it says on the front bit about cover and conceal, and because it's quite thick, I hope it's meant to be like a 2-in-1, because like I said, it doesn't say anything on there, so it's a bit odd. I haven't got any primer on. I don't tend to use primer on a daily basis, so I thought, well, what's the point in first impressions? I know people tend to kind of go with what they would normally do. I do in the sense of wearing powder. I always put powder on afterwards, regardless of what foundation I'm wearing, when it is, or whether it's first impressions or not. So I will be today also, just because I do on a daily basis, so what's the point in testing it without? I also do have on a mattifying moisturiser, so if it is super matte, which it doesn't look like it, that possibly may be why, but it doesn't seem to be making all that much difference, to be honest. Coverage is quite good, like it's very dewy still. I mean, I have got a light on, so you can kind of see it's all shiny up here. colour probably isn't so great. It's not showing up quite so much to you. It is a little dark, but it's not too bad. Like if I blended it down my neck and put a bit of bronzer on, I think I'd be alright, to be honest. It's covered up all this quite well. I don't know if you can see, definitely need powder. Holy crap, I'm shiny. Even in the mirror, I look shiny, so it's not just my lights and the way the camera's kind of focused on me. I'm tempted to put a little bit more on, just for the sake of testing it, of course. I would say I don't really like this. I have to squeeze it quite a lot to get anything out. And I feel like, obviously the way I'm doing it, I don't know if there's another method maybe. I feel like I'm using quite a lot. So, I don't know. If anyone else has this and maybe has a kind of tip on how to use it, because obviously most foundations come with a pump, so you would use like one pump and then spread it all over your face, but I feel like I'm probably using more than normal. Apologies. So it's not covering the redness too bad, you know, I mean around my eyes doesn't tend to really cover like whatever I use, so I'm not too bothered about that. But obviously I had a spot up here and down here. I mean you can still see them, but the redness is definitely diminished, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm gonna go over with the Beauty Blender just to take off any kind of excess product and all that kind of jazz. And like I said, it gets rid of any streak marks that there may have been. I don't think there was any though, which is quite good for me. That's why I don't tend to use brushes, because it always leaves streaks regardless of what I use. So, a bit on there. Oh! So, let's take a quick close look. I will show you up close in a second. It does look pretty good. Because I mean, it doesn't claim to be moisturising, it doesn't claim to be matte, so I'm really not sure where we're going with this, but it looks, I mean, I can see my pores, but it's not clinging to dry patches. I say that, I have a little bit kind of on my nose there that it is clinging to, and a little bit kind of on the top of my nose, almost like when you get sunburn, and it has kind of collected in my nose there. Also on my eyelids, but you know, it always has that. But like on my spot and stuff, I don't think it's that bad. I'm gonna zoom you in quick so you can see. So I am back. It is about 20 minutes later, I'd say. I just done the rest of my makeup. I freaking made a mess. I got mascara up there, but hey. It's not holding up too bad. I obviously have put more powder on in the sense of bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that kind of jazz. And it doesn't, on that area, it's fine, i.e. here. It's just my nose, but I always have issues with my nose. Usually it just doesn't cover properly, which it isn't on this case either. I can still see like my skin through it, but it has, like I mentioned just a minute ago, this dry bit around here. I'm gonna zoom you in and show you real quick. So, I don't know if you can really see. On here, I don't know why it's showing like red through on the camera and looks like there's nothing there, but there is. Obviously you can still see that, which I am kind of, I'm disappointed by, because that looked like it covered before, and now I don't know if that's just brushes going over it like with powder and stuff, it's kind of brought it back up. But yeah, and as you can see, it's kind of creased under my eye. I haven't used any concealer, it was literally just powdered, but I get creasing all the time under my eye, so I'm not bothered by that. All in all, I don't think it looks too bad. That is now highlight. I'll zoom in a sec. I did have to use a loose powder after I'd put that pressed powder on. I normally use this pressed powder like all the time, and it's just the MUA Skin Define Hydro Powder. As you can see, it's very well loved, and I'm okay with that. Probably not as a blotting powder, but as a normal, like a general finishing powder, I usually think it's absolutely fine. But I was so, it was like I was oily, like my oily skin by the end of the day, just in this foundation. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, because I mean, like I said, it doesn't claim to be oil controlling or matte or anything, but I think it has quite a lot of oil in it. Not that you can feel that when you're putting it on, but I could see it. Like, it was full on. I had to, like I said, I had to put loose powder on just so it would actually absorb some of the oil. So yeah, that's kind of my first impressions. I'll attempt to come back to you in intervals during the day. It is now 10:30, so if we say from now, say I applied it around 10 o'clock though, I'll try and come back to you in intervals throughout the day and let you know my final thoughts on it. So I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so this is up close. It looks red here in the camera, but it's not. As you can see, I'm very shiny. It's kind of collected in here. Don't know if you can see that kind of bit on my nose where it's gone all dry. I did exfoliate this morning, but obviously, you know, it looks not too bad. Camera always picks up so much more for some reason. So I am back. It is about 20 minutes later, I'd say. I just done the rest of my makeup. I freaking made a mess. I got mascara up there. But hey, it's not holding up too bad. I obviously have put more powder on, in the sense of bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that kind of jazz, and it doesn't, on that area, it's fine, I hear. It's just my nose, but I always have issues with my nose. Usually it just doesn't cover properly, which it isn't on this case either. I can still see like my skin through it, but it has, like I mentioned just a minute ago, this dry bit around here. I'm gonna zoom you in, so I don't know if you can really see. On here, I don't know why it's showing like red through on the camera and looks like there's nothing there, but there is. Obviously you can still see that, which I am kind of, I'm disappointed by, because that looked like it covered before, and now I don't know if that's just brushes going over it like with powder and stuff, it's kind of brought it back up. But yeah, and as you can see, it's kind of creased under my eye. I haven't used any concealer, it was literally just powdered, but I get creasing all the time under my eye, so I'm not bothered by that. All in all, I don't think it looks too bad. That is now highlight. I did have to use a loose powder after I'd put that pressed powder on. I normally use this pressed powder like all the time, and it's just the MUA Skin Define Hydro Powder. As you can see, it's very well loved, and I'm okay with that. Probably not as a blotting powder, but as a normal, like a general finishing powder, I usually think it's absolutely fine. but I was so, it was like I was oily, like my oily skin by the end of the day, just in this foundation. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, because I mean, like I said, it doesn't claim to be oil controlling or matte or anything, but I think it has quite a lot of oil in it. Not that you can feel that when you're putting it on, but I could see it. Like, it was full on. I had to, like I said, I had to put loose powder on just so it would actually absorb some of the oil. So yeah, that's kind of my first impressions. I'll attempt to come back to you in intervals during the day. It is now 10:30, so if we say from now, say I applied it around 10 o'clock though, I'll try and come back to you in intervals throughout the day and let you know my final thoughts on it. So I'll catch you in a bit. Hi guys, I'm just doing a quick update. It is now 12:30, so it has been 2 hours since I have applied this foundation. I have filmed another video, so I have been under light, but have no point in the last 2 hours have I felt hot or like sweaty or anything. And I'm sure you can see this. It's not highlight. You can see where my highlight is. Not digging it. Yeah. In 2 hours. And that's obviously, I've not powdered since I first put it on. So I will try and come back to you maybe in another 2 hours. I'm about to go outside. I have to go drop off a parcel somewhere and go to my nail place and try and book an appointment. So I will try and catch you when I get back. I'll probably only be an hour or so, but I would have been outside and it's already not faring well, so we shall see. See you in a bit. So it has been another hour. It is 1:30, well, 25 to 2. I've just got back. Really? I had actual beads as well on my top lip though, to be fair, and I've just blotted them off. But I was going to do the rest of my face. I was like, no, I'm going to show you first. To be fair, remember, I do have very, very oily skin, and I seem to get hot really quickly. I literally just walked to a like little, I wouldn't call it a town, but it's like where there's an Asda and banks and pound shop and stuff. It's like 5 minutes away, so 5 minutes there, 5 minutes back, and I had to do a couple of errands in between. I had to drop off Julie's parcel at the UPS access point. I had to go to my nail place and rearrange an appointment, and then I popped into Asda to pick up some more milk and then came back. But nothing too strenuous, although I do find I walk very fast when I'm by myself. But yeah, I really want to blot this so bad, but I want to see if it gets any worse. Oh my god, it's terrible. I had to take that off my top lip though, because it was literally like I just stepped out of the shower. It was literally beads of sweat. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna have this on for. I'm gonna try at least a 9-hour kind of stint, as that's how long I would normally wear it for. If it was like a normal work day, it would probably be more like 12 hours if it was a work day. 9 hours of work. So when did I put this on? If we said 10:30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I will come back to you and then show you how it is. Unless it gets any worse between now and then I'll show you and take it off. Right, so this is going to be my final kind of update of the day. It is now 6:05, so it has been on my face, what would that be, 8 hours? Something around that. I think I put it on around 10, half 10. So around 8 hours. And as you can see, that is why I need to take it off. I can feel it on my skin, and nope. Just nope. This is definitely not going to be a foundation I try again on a work day. I may try it again on another kind of at-home day just to test it out again. I will do a try to do another follow-up on this foundation. I'm still due to post my follow-ups from the last two. I just haven't got around to it yet. But yeah, I'll try and do a follow-up on this, but I don't think it's going to be very positive if this is anything to go by. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.